Right then, when it comes to Porsche, everybody knows how good they are on track. But did you know they also have a rich history of off-roading as well? So, let's start from the beginning. In the 1950s, Porsche entered long-distance rallying with the 356. After early success, endurance over brutal terrain became part of the brand's DNA. Then, 1984. The Porsche 953, a heavily modified race-spec 911 Carrera 3.2, built for one purpose, the Dakar Rally. It wins on its debut, a strengthened chassis, long travel suspension, and Porsche's first manually controlled four-wheel drive system, inspired by the technology dominating Group B at the time. A proving ground for what was coming next. 1986. Paris-Dakar, the 959. Advanced all-wheel drive, adjustable suspension, first and second overall. Across nearly 15,000 kilometres of punishment, the 959 didn't just compete, it dominated. Nearly 245 kilometres per hour across sand, rock and dust. Technology forged in the desert. A statement that off-road wasn't a detour, it was part of Porsche's future. Fast forward to 2007. Porsche returns, this time with the Porsche Cayenne. After privateers took first and second in 2006, the factory stepped in. 26 rally-prepared Cayenne S models were built, finishing 1, 2 and 3 on the podium. And better still, in 2008, they got first through to 6th place. Total domination. Later, to celebrate, Porsche released the Cayenne S Trans-Siberia. Rare, purpose-built and expensive. Fast forward to today, and the 911 Dakar follows the same philosophy. Limited numbers, serious capability, and a price tag that'll make your eyes water. But luckily, the base Cayenne models start from just £2,000, which means it's extremely affordable to make your very own rally-ready Porsche. So let's take a look what we've done to this Cayenne to make it ready for the 2,000 kilometre Maroc challenge. So, starting at the front, a common misconception of the desert is that it's all soft sand. That's not the case. There's a lot of rocky sections out there as well. So the vehicle needs to be very well protected, which is why we've installed our tubular bumper on the front of this. So as you can see, it's all very well protected with the steel plates. We've also got two good strong recovery points, and behind the bumper is a winch plate, so if you did want to install a winch then you can put one of them on as well. This offers better approach angle, a lot better protection. It also follows onto the engine guard and the transmission guard, both 3mm steel, so if you do get unlucky and hit something then you should be all good. So let's move to the side of the vehicle to see what we've got going off there. So here we have our tubular rock sliders. These are going to offer plenty of protection for those rocky sections as mentioned earlier. We've got a nice flat surface under here so you can just slide over the rocks, and then the sills are protected by the tubular section on the side. Let's go and have a look what's going on around the back. So around the back we've got even more tube work. So we've gone for our tubular rear bumper, offering a much better departure angle. One of our other customers that did the Maroc challenge last year did it with the standard rear bumper, and at one point he just completely ripped it off. So this is a really good addition to save that problem happening. We've also got another two recovery points back here as well, either side, and then in the middle we've got a receiver hitch, which as you can see you can run a shackle which acts as a third recovery point. So if you are stuck in the sand, you've got three decent recovery points to get yourself back out. So one of the good things about our latest tubular bumper design is that it's completely modular, which means if you wanted to add one of the wheel carriers on at a later date, completely possible. So getting nice and cosy under the car, we've got even more protection. We've got the rear skid plate for the rear differential. We've got the rear arm skid plates as well. And then a little bit further down, we've got our prototype tank guards covering both sides of the fuel tank. Whilst we're here, we can look at the custom side exit exhaust, which gives us even more clearance versus the big suitcase silencer that would be normally there. Whilst I'm laid on the floor, now is probably a good time to take a look at the suspension. So you can just about see the GMC rear shocks. These are the first set of the coil versions that we fitted to a vehicle. We have previously fitted the air suspension versions as well. These have got a complete remote reservoir, exactly what is required for when you're hitting those washboard sections of the desert. In terms of suspension for the Cayenne and the Touareg platform, this is pretty much the best you can get, and it is also well tested in the same environments as you'd expect from the Moroccan Desert. So not only do you get a lot of lift from the suspension, we've also upsized the tyres. So we're running a 265, 65, 18 BF Goodrich KO2. The reason why we haven't gone for anything bigger on this is because that tyre size is quite common across a lot of other off-road vehicles. So if you are stuck out in Morocco and you're unlucky enough to find yourself needing a tyre, this tyre size should be a lot more common than, say, a 33 inch or as big as a 35 inch that some people are fitting to the Cayennes now. So that's the reason why we haven't gone huge on this. The KO2, again, it's pretty much an industry standard for an all-terrain tyre. A lot of people, including the military, go for this tyre. So we know it's well tested and really rugged. So the tyre itself is mounted to a braid beadlock wheel. This is a beadlock B system, so unlike a conventional beadlock system where the tyre pops onto a bead and then the outer lip is bolted to clamp the bead together, this has just got these small bolts, which we'll try and get a photo of those out of the wheel. Those have got a point on them, so this still mounts like a conventional tyre, but once it's mounted, you then put these bolts in, which then kind of push into the tyre to stop it rotating when you're running lower tyre pressures. So in theory on the desert, you might be running as low as 10 PSI, something like that. So the last thing you want is the tyre coming off the bead or the wheel slipping inside the tyre. So that's why we run a beadlock system. Moving on to the front suspension, as you can see, we've got the GMC shocks on there and the remote reservoirs. As well as doing all that, we've put plenty of Powerflex bushers in there. Last thing you want is 20-year-old bushers failing on you in the middle of the desert. And then we've also put a new top arm on there as well. So it's had quite a bit of maintenance work as well as all the upgrades while it's been in our workshop. The upgrades continue inside, although these upgrades are not ones that we've actually designed. So Matt, who did the Maroc challenge last year, has helped design these specifically for the Cayenne to do the Maroc challenge. So when you are out there in the desert, you need a good navigation system, which is what is going to be mounted on there. So this little thing here is to mount the GPS system. So in simple terms, that is basically just tracking the timing for the competition. It's letting the organisers and other competitors know exactly where your car is, and it also lets you know where the other competitors' cars are as well. Another thing suggested by Matt when he did the rally last year, he did it with the standard seat belts, and as you can probably imagine, the terrain over there is very, very bumpy. So he recommended getting some harnesses fitted to keep you strapped in your seat at all times. So this just has a prototype bar in the back, but another bar is in the works that can just be bolted in there, and the harnesses can be mounted to. So as you've just seen, we have taken this once a footballer's wife's SUV and made it ready for the Sahara Desert. If you think you're up for the challenge yourself, make sure you drop us an email to get the full details. But if you want to see more builds like this, subscribe to the channel and we'll see you in the next one.